Hey, we're back for another season of When Marriage and Purpose Collide.
We share our dating experiences and have our own story that led to marriage.
We are here to inspire and encourage Christian singles who are striving to date with a purpose and have a desire for marriage. As a coach that helps women in their dating season
and guide men in theirs, we will provide you with thought-provoking hot topics that can challenge your thinking and encourage you in your single season.
So take notes and join in on the discussion. We would love to see your input in the conversation. Now on to the episode. Hey y'all.
What up?
Hey y'all. Hey, we back. Hey. What's up? Hey.
I was really doing all the extra.
What's up?
All the extra.
Right. Welcome back to another episode of When Marriage
and Purpose Collide, the podcast.
What? We got that right. Listen.
What's good with it?
Listen, we're glad y'all here. We're glad y'all back for another episode. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching us weekly. For those who don't know, we're just here to support Christian singles out there who need encouragement when it comes to dating nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Need encouragement when it comes to the desire for marriage, and just want to hear from another couple on what's not being said, or maybe what's being said, but what's being twisted out there.
Everything be twisted.
Yeah. So what's your take? What you think we here for? What you got?
What's my take?
What's your take on what we here for?
I just know people struggling with these relationships and getting better, especially with some of the things we're about to talk about.
But
what? But what
will we plan to do to help them?
Oh,
so you're gonna leave them in a negative space?
Yeah. So
it won't get better.
we certified. I'm gonna say that we certified to help. With actually engaged couples, actually married couples, and for y'all single people, we can help y'all too with communication. Maybe even for the men, help you do better, get better. Not in the way of I ain't trying to give you muscles, nothing, but spiritually trying to help y'all.
Yeah, we're just trying to be on track. So yes, for your point, is what you said is not getting better, but it can be.
Yes,
and that's what we want to be able to help you all with. It's just a lot going on out there that we realize that we want to share with y'all. So yeah, we here for another episode, and so another good thing that's happening is that we are nominated.
Yeah.
We were nominated for the Kansas City People's Choice Awards. We're in the semifinals, trying to make it to the finals. So in the description of this episode, you will have a link to where you can go ahead and vote for us. All right. Vote for us for the best podcast. A lot of podcasts out there. A lot of podcasts I don't even know. I'm reading the list. I'm like, let me look y'all up and see what y'all all about too.
Let's see what y'all doing.
But anyway, if y'all know us, y'all been listening to us. And it doesn't matter if you're in Kansas City or not. Like, you can be in wherever you are, even out of the country, and you can still vote for us. Okay. So we're going to have a link in the description. Make sure you go and cast your vote on any device in your household. So just go ahead and have at it.
So if you got the phones, tablets, kids, tablets.
Yeah. All the things.
School tablet.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you got, internet.
I don't know if you need to add that part. As long as you got internet.
Well, yeah. School tablet. School tablet. They probably got blocked and privacy. So there's ways around it. Use proxy.
Anyway, go to the library. If you ain't got internet, go to the library and vote for us.
And go to each computer there and vote.
And log in and vote.
I don't even know if you have to log in. You just go to it. Well, I guess you have to log in a computer.
My phone ain't turning off the sound. It just said no. There it goes. Okay. So yes, and if you're watching us right now, go ahead and make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so that you'll know when we're coming out with a new episode and you can get in right away with us.
Yep. Subscribe, follow, notification, like, comment, share. Did I say share already?
Yep.
Share.
I don't know if you said share already.
Repost. All that.
All that in a bag of chips. You used to say that.
In a bag of chips?
Yeah, why we add the bag of chips? All that ain't a bag of chips. What?
Well, I mean,
why we?
I mean, if you get the sandwich, you gotta get the chips.
Man, we just was adding stuff back in the day. Anyway.
Back in the day.
Back in the day, I'm not as okay. So
confessionals.
There is a segment we have here for all the new people who don't know what we do and why we're here talking before we actually get into the topic. And it's called Confessions. These are my confessions.
I call it confessionals, but
you call it confessionals. It's kind of like confessionals remind me of Real World when they used to. Was it called confessionals? Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it was called something else. But I remember when they used to do the talking head and they used to have them on the side. Just about my experience in the kitchen. So Sarah,
I can't believe she slapped.
Right.
So I slapped her back.
I feel like it was called confessionals, but it probably wasn't. But anyway, this is a point to where we discuss like anything we want to get off our chest, good, bad, the ugly. It don't have to be deep, whatever. And so it's just letting you peek into our minds, our household, and who we are. So go ahead. What do you have for your confession?
Mine is I started my TikTok shop, and it was a fun journey. It got shut down a couple days ago. TikTok was like, nah, you didn't come in the right way. We're going to have to shut you down. So I was a little upset about that, but I'm starting over again. This time I got to grow to 5,000.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens.
Yeah. It was a journey.
The earring.
I just want to keep it in. I want to see count how many times it falls out throughout the episode.
I'm
so
timer. I'm gonna put a count. So that's one.
Y'all go ahead and put it down in the comments.
Technically two, but I'm gonna say this.
Or maybe y'all can go ahead and let me know how many times you think it's gonna fall. And then see if you got it right. Put it in the pool.
Wait, what's that? I gotta find a song for it.
How you gonna do this and then not remember and then get me all amped up for what you about to say, but then not be able to think about what you?
The one where they gotta open up the suitcases and stuff, and it's got the theme song for it when you're sitting there thinking, "Oh no, I want to be a millionaire" or something like that. Wherever that song. Anyway,
I want to be a millionaire.
Is that the question? Millionaire question?
Oh, the millionaire one.
Yeah, and when they sit there, you gotta wait for it. Do you want a lifeline? That music. I should throw that up there.
You can.
Nah, I ain't gonna do that. Get copyrighted.
Anyway. So
what's yours?
TikTok journey, RIP. So but now you're gonna resurrect.
Be your own people. It'd be your own people. RIP.
Mine is, I have two that I'm juggling between, but mine is the fun part of sharing videos.
So, babe, recently I've been on social media, and as I'm scrolling, I'm seeing a lot of people who are struggling in their relationships. And the main thing is communicating. Like, they don't know how to communicate. What do you say about that? What you thinking?
I know a lot of it is mostly geared towards the men and with the lack of communication.
Mm-hmm.
And how, like, they can't hold one or something like that, or they're not capable.
Yeah. And I think it's just a learning thing. Like, when you get together, there needs to be tools and resources that you can have to help navigate that journey.
Yeah.
With communicating.
Some kind of structure.
Yeah, some kind of structure, something that you can go to often and then make your own.
Yeah.
And so I think that's where we come into play.
Oh, yeah. We got something for you.
Yeah, we got something called the Communication Game Changer.
Yeah.
It's like a guide that can help you in the season wherever you are, whether you are dating exclusively, you're engaged, or married.
Even single.
I mean, even if you're single, you can learn. And it's basically a structured question that you can start asking your spouse or significant other.
Yeah.
And I think it can help those who are out there. And it's really a starting point. It's not the ending point. So if you need therapy, go to therapy. But this is a great start.
Definitely a great start, especially y'all having arguments and nobody's listening to each other.
Mm-hmm.
We got some.
And we definitely use this. We use this structure, have been using it for a long time now in our marriage, and it's helped us greatly. So
we just want to share it with you.
We just want to share it with you. So go ahead and click the link in the description to get your copy of the Communication Game Changer. All right.
And that how couples share videos between one another. Videos meaning like the TikTok videos, reels or whatnot. And then they get to the point where they ask them, hey, you watch my videos? And they say no. And it's like, I spent time sending you videos so that you could laugh with me. And all you got to do is laugh with me and be on the same page, and knowing that they did not watch the videos you sent them.
I would have to say, though, the one you sent me today, I looked at it and I was like, this is an hour long.
Which one?
And you did not even tell me what time frame.
Wait a minute, what video I sent you was an hour long? I probably messed up.
The Kev on Stage one. And you had a laughing emoji.
It was funny throughout the whole episode.
I know, but it was an hour long.
You didn't have to watch the whole thing.
I didn't know what part you was laughing at.
I was laughing at the majority of it. It was funny.
Yeah, but that was an hour long and I'm at work. And I was like, I can't watch that.
You should have said that then.
No, I just left it. I'll watch it later.
You should have said it. How far did you get?
The first 5 minutes.
That's the boring part.
I know, because
I was at work.
Into
it because there's a part I want you to hear.
Look, I'm at work. Really I got no headphones. And I'm over here cleaning this floor, and she talking about it.
You could have been laughing cleaning the floor, but yet you stopped at 5 minutes in.
Yeah, because I had to turn on the floor machine.
Okay, well, turn it back on.
What?
When the floor machine is going. Anyway, so the whole point is that was the funny part, or that's the part, not funny part. That's the part that I realized that we do. Or I remember one time, that's why I stopped really doing it so much, because I'll be sending you, I can send you like a lot in one setting.
A lot.
And I'm sure if I'm sending you that much, I can only imagine other couples and what they're sending back to where it's like 20 videos deep. And now you got to watch the videos.
I got a bunch of them. I don't even send them. I just like them and show you later.
Yep. But I did send you one today on TikTok. That was funny to me. So.
Oh, well, my TikTok is blowing up at the moment, so it's probably lost within the messages.
Your TikTok is blowing up at the moment? Can you clarify? Because I don't think people understand that.
I was at 20 followers. I'm at 700 right now.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Why you didn't tell me that?
I was going to tell you later.
This is the one that resurrected, not the RP one.
Yeah,
so
no. There we go. God. Nah. That one was struggling. That was at 500. So this passed it.
How'd you get it to 700?
I did a follow train.
Oh. That makes sense.
And it's going.
It's rising to the top.
Going.
Rising to the top.
I was like, I looked up this morning. I was like, golly.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. So anyway.
I just need 5,000. So follow me. Wait.
You can put it in the description. So anyway, you forgot to put the timer up. So I know, we don't need a timer. We got that.
Timer.
Okay. So tonight. They didn't hear that. Today, however y'all watching this, we wanted to cover, since we're on the topic of videos, I guess, we wanted to cover some of the videos that we have seen, and they're actually all TikTok videos. I'm big on like looking at things related to relationship content. So these are related to the relationship content, and I felt that it would be good for us to show some of these videos and kind of like talk about them. Now, we're not going to be like the ones where they commentate, in reaction. I mean, I guess it is kind of like a reaction, but not to it.
Don't look at my reaction.
I know that's the only thing. You can't judge.
Was it funny?
You can't judge. For that. So yeah, so some of them are trending topics. Some of them are just great topics. Yeah. Either way, we just thought this would be a good way to kind of progress through the season. We might do this more often. You can send us videos that you want us to react to or look at as well and talk about. Maybe you are a creator and you talk about relationships and you want us to put you on here. We could do that too. We can do that too. Anything? before we begin?
No, let's go.
All right, here's the. Okay, no, before you go. So, so this was.
What's the first one? What are you talking about?
This one is about, from what y'all been hearing. What is it? Soft guy era.
Yep, soft guy
era, and it's been the thing that's been talked about a lot. I should say the most, but a lot. And I thought this would be good to kind of start us off. So go ahead and play the video.
Wait, since you brought that up, you got to talk about what it is, because some people maybe they don't know unless they've been watching.
Well, what you know about it? Because some of it, he explained a little bit about it in there.
Okay, so basically, it started out as a satire meme kind of thing where they're saying guys is basically giving up the whole traditional provider role and is more going towards basically reflection of what women expect them to be, or not expect them to be, but the expectations of men. Basically, they're just like, nah, I'm just gonna role reverse.
Reverse.
Yeah, role reverse the same expectations y'all have and do that to y'all, like the whole going out to dinner and you paying or putting something down, or like, oh, she got this fake bag or something. It's just like just stuff that women would nitpick or anything about men. They're doing the same thing to women.
Yeah.
And I'd seen the beginning of it. It was like one dude, and like I saw one dude commentating and doing a whole live and everything, and then like I switched over and there was another guy doing it. They both was doing it. There was the two main culprits, and then after that, it just kind of like blew up. But when he was doing it in a way that set a trap for women to fall into, and it worked.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I don't think it's working.
No, I didn't say all.
Oh, you mean it worked like as far as like the trap?
The trap worked.
The
yes.
thinking to. Think
I'm not saying they grabbed all women, but it grabbed a lot of attention.
And I should say also to. I'm sorry, I don't like using corporate language. Anyway, to piggyback on what you were saying about that, it is for the women, the soft girl era. It was more so an empowerment movement for women. So it was, I mean, and we could talk about it after this. It wasn't meant to be where men would come back at us like this, but it was just to show us like what we deserve and who we are as a movement, and to empower us in our feminine energy, accepting nothing less, setting boundaries, all the things. And then it kind of morphed into this. And so go ahead and show the video.
All right. I gotta make sure the volume is right.
Okay.
These ladies out here mad as hell about this soft guy era movement. Have you guys seen this? So guys are making videos basically denouncing what men traditionally have done. They're saying that they're not interested in providing and protecting no more. If the women is not coming to the table with more money than them, if they're not taking care of them, if they're not paying all of the bills, if they're not making sure that they live a carefree, comfortable, luxurious lifestyle, they're not messing with those women. Man, oh man, the tables have turned. The tables have turned. I notice when ladies are saying this, everybody's just like clapping. Yeah, girl, that's what I'm talking about, clapping. But when men say the exact same thing that you guys are saying, they want the same standards that you guys require. Now you guys get upset, reporting the videos, bashing them in the comments, hitting their DMs up. It's hilarious because actually the guys were doing this for a joke, just to show you guys how silly that the videos look when it comes from your side. So you just prove to them that, guess what? It's all about you. The guy can't want nothing. He can't want nothing. Everything is about you.
Wow. Yeah. It's all about you. I'm actually, this might be another take. And of course, don't come at me with this. I'm actually impressed that the guys actually thought of this.
No,
as a way to come back and turn tables.
Thing is, it's been thought about. It's just the thing how it turned into a whole thing was the crazy part. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I saw the beginning of it because it was kind of like, you know, just talks here and there, kind of combating or wherever. But not when that guy did the whole live and people was just in there, like there was a lot of women just in there just mad because the way he set it up was more of he was leaving his girlfriend of 5 years, but he didn't have no girlfriend. He just was setting it up that way and was grabbing everybody's attention. And that's what he hit him with the soft guy era thing. And it wasn't even called that, but he was just drawing people in, and then he hit him with that. I was just like, that was a good one. And then it just blew up overnight. It was just like everybody talking about it. And along with that was the saying drizzle, drizzle.
Oh, yeah. That's what
I was like, y'all.
I'm like, how do you do that? Like, that's what I'm impressed. I'm impressed about how the movement and how men are gathering in this way. Now, I'm not elated that this is happening in this way. It's actually the bad side of what we didn't want to happen when we're talking about women empowering ourselves. But it shows like, okay, y'all can band together, but look at what you can do if you were talking about something positive. Y'all can band together with drizzle drizzle. What can y'all do? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, that's what is in my mind. That's what's coming to play.
So the concept of it, basically the reason why the joke I could understand, because it's like there was before this was a lot of it was just internet, of course, but it was a lot of women on there saying, "Oh, I won't have a man like this, won't have a man like that." Like the standards was like, in a way, kind of crazy. It was like, "Oh, I want a man only 100K." You know, the whole 20v1 stuff was popping off too. It was just like, this is ridiculous. And then he hit him with the soft guy era, and now there's a lot of guys saying, "You know what?
That sounds actually.
Yeah, let's go ahead and turn this mirror around and do the same thing."
Yeah.
Or basically have the same standards y'all have, and see how you like it. And now there's a lot of women mad because it's like, no, you can't do that, this and that.
But it's like, but you can't do that.
And
like,
right. It was like, but that's what y'all want, so we want that.
Exactly. Why can't we have that? You know, kind of deal.
And what always gets me is the very first attack or words to try to hurt someone is to say they're gay. Which is like, one, it's already messed up saying that. Two, it's like, why is that got to be the first thing?
They were saying a lot of that.
Yeah.
Because of that.
It's all you don't you like women, or you like men, or something. Like,
how does that even come about? My thing is, what, from a man's point of view, what can happen? First of all, let me back it up. I could not, by looking at all the videos when I was looking through TikTok, I could not tell if some men were serious or if they were joking.
Oh no, that's why.
You're saying, like, it looked like the videos were done so well. It looked like they were like, oh, that's a joke. Ha ha. People, even women, were in the comments laughing, at it. Like, that's a good one. Da da da. But then on the other side, I'm looking at some other videos. I'm like, wait a minute. But are you serious? Like, like, I can't tell for some of these because of how people are playing games with it. But are you actually acting like that? So
that's the only thing about, especially trends or anything of this kind of sort, is there's going to be the meme side of it, which that's how it started out as. It's kind of like a meme, kind of just like the I'm gonna show you the and it's not all women, but I'm gonna show you how some women act, and I'm just giving you the same treatment. But then there's men who actually take that lifestyle serious.
Yeah.
Where they're just like, no, you need I'm gonna uphold this.
Yeah.
Like that sounds great to me. Actually, I don't even take it as a meme. I'm actually going to do it.
Or it's affirming them in this life, like it's saying that this is okay.
And the thing is, it's not hard to think that way. I'm gonna give you a little story example. I remember when I during my single time, I went on a date with this girl, and I asked her what she wanted to eat, and she was, the usual what's the word I'm looking for? Undecisive. Like she didn't really decide. She was just like, "Oh, I'm cool with that." I'm like, okay. Like I named off a bunch of stuff. It got to the point to where we landed on Chipotle, which I was like, if that's what you want, cool. And we walked all the way over there. And the minute I opened the door, she said, "Nah, I don't want this." And we turned around. It's like, you didn't waste it all our time. Walked all the way over here and said, "Nah, I don't want this." And I'm like, okay, what do you want?
Yeah.
And she still didn't know. By that time, I was like, I'm ready to go. Now, if I was to do that same situation to her, like, and that's where the soft guy area is like, okay, if I was to sit there and do that same situation, what she just did to me, how would I look?
Yeah. Yeah. You would look like you would look indecisive. As a man, it wouldn't be attractive.
Yeah, that's the point. that's the point they're trying to make.
As a man, it wouldn't be attractive. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I just think it just wouldn't be attractive. And my thing is thinking back. I lost what I was going to say. So that's what.
But thinking back on the experience you went through?
No, it was more so talking about, what would, for a man that's not normally like that, to actually do that, would that be hard to switch? You know what I'm saying? Like, naturally, you would want to do the things that make you show yourself as a leader, show yourself as making the decisions, paying for the meal, whatever it may be. But for a man to do the opposite of that, like if you say, you know what, hands up, when you were dating, I'm gonna do it this way, would that have been hard for you to watch yourself do that to somebody?
For me, probably, because it's outside of my norm. One, dating was already outside my norm anyway, but but to switch and start doing something like that would have been something outside my norm. Now, would it be easier to switch? It would be kind of like, okay, I've been doing this for so long, and I see it's not working. Now let me try something else. Let me try this route. And
like you're fed up.
Yeah.
Basically. And that's where I think it is on both sides. I think women, the reason why this came up is a lot of women are fed up with the men they're getting. And they're like, well, I don't listen. And then the guys are fed up with what they're getting. And then even in the comments, when I was looking at some of the men they could have been joking, they could have been serious about them living in this era. The women were like, okay, then I'm fine with paying for it. Like, if that's how you want to be, kind of deal. Like, it made them conform to saying, you know what, I don't even care, whatever kind of deal.
What's crazy though? Just thinking about it, the whole soft guy thing, it's always been a thing though. Because I know people who actually, like, men who actually have women that do that for them. And like, it didn't have no title. It was just like, oh, she paying this and paying that and throwing money here. But it's usually for men who are doing something in a certain way to them to cause that.
Explain. I don't know.
They're putting it down, in other words.
Thank you. I was making sure you said doing something to them. Can you be
I was trying to keep PG-13 anyway.
I mean, we adults though too, so you could go a little bit further.
They was giving it to them, going to Pound Town, wherever you want to call it, and the next you know, they paying for a whole house. Or that letting them live and drive their cars and everything.
Or is it doing tax season?
Oh, tax
the
season.
memes.
Yeah, tax season roll around. They get that money. I should find that video.
No, you don't.
Okay.
No, you don't. But
got that Chevy on the 24s.
I don't want us to spend too much time because I know we got other videos
Yeah.
to get to. But really, I wanted to come to this because I realized that both ways, when thinking of this, is selfish.
Mhm.
Whether you're the woman in this situation and you're expecting and being petty with how you are searching for guys this way, and then for the men, same way. For you to go tit for tat though, like it's going back and forth, and it's causing more confusion and frustration when it comes to dating, which is of course what the enemy wants. So now, if you are a Christian, now we're talking to y'all who are the Christians out here. If you're a Christian and you're listening to this, this is where you have to try hard not to conform. Remember, we're not to conform to the thing of this world. The world is thinking like this. This is the pattern of the world. This is the enemy trying to infiltrate your mind, try to get you to think that you can't find nobody now.
Mm-hmm.
You can't attract this type of guy. You can't attract this type of woman. Like, you got to be this way. You don't have to be this way. All right. And one of the things I found is in all of this, people are prideful.
Oh yeah.
A lot of pride, a lot of I think I'm owed this type of person in my life because I did XYZ. A lot of selfishness. It's all self-centered. It's all what you gain out of it. When you think about it, is how you serve. Remember, when you're dating somebody, you still my brother in Christ. You still my sister in Christ. How you respond in that type of relationship, even though y'all ain't together, still matters. Mm-hmm. All right. You still are supposed to live a life according to how God wants you to live. So in that essence, I was looking up a scripture because I thought about the one, I couldn't find it, so I had to type it in. It says Philippians 2:3-4. It says, do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interest of others. I know it's hard to do. But if you hear and you're really, again, trying to desire this marriage thing, y'all need to back it up a little bit, turn off the ears to some of these messages that you're hearing, and focus back on how you can not be selfishly ambitious. I think I said that right. Selfishly, that's not what that said, but selfishly ambitious. Vain conceit, being conceited, okay? All that is what's happening right now.
Oh yeah.
Any thoughts about that before we go into the next one?
Nah, I was kind of thinking like, ooh, you're doing the whole mirror thing, being all selfish about everything. It's just going to leave yourself to demise if I'm looking for the right
demise,
word.
Yeah.
Because it's like, y'all ain't helping nothing. You already thought the pool for dating was bad. Y'all making it worse.
Mm-hmm. Get out the pool. We keep saying, I think we said it in another one.
Yep.
Get out the pool. You in the pool. Quit getting in this pool of this. Get out of it and go do your thing.
I'm for men being selfish in a way, and not in a way of like, oh, I can't help others for good right. or nothing like that. But it's like self-care. Mm-hmm. Like that right there is big for me. It's like you need to take care of yourself before you start trying to take care of somebody else. Mm-hmm. Now, this whole dating situation is it's a whole different ball game. I'm glad I'm not in it, but I'm glad to help.
All right, cool. The next one is changing the script a little bit. I just thought we should kind of talk about this because I have thoughts. So go ahead.
All right. She might be a little loud.
Okay. That needs to be said out loud is that as Black men age, their desirability increases. Thus, their optionality of women is always expanding. And the exact opposite is true for Black women. Mm-hmm. As we age, doesn't matter how much money we accumulate, our degrees or professional accolades, the reality is that our marriage and partnership market value is depreciating with every passing year. No matter how good we look, no matter how fit we are, men are still seeing primarily our presumed dwindling fertility as a knock against us. And speaking of fertility, that is another reason that I want younger black women to seek marriage and partnership in college or right after, if that's what they choose. Because the number of college-educated black men is so low when compared to black college-educated women that we're all going to be targeting the same small pool of men. And as we heard today, on most campuses, there's like 7 black women students for every 1 black man student. Y'all do the math. So here's my advice. If you are a young black woman in college and you know in your heart and in your head that you want to prioritize family, I suggest that you simultaneously pursue that MRS degree right along with that BA or JD. Because the handful of black college-age men that actually do desire to get married soon, and they do share that value system, and family is a priority for them too, y'all, that is an incredibly small pool, and it's shrinking as you get older. And by the time you reach my age, 40, you will be faced with different choices relating to life partnership and motherhood. Now, I'm not saying that delaying marriage or motherhood is a bad option, but it's one that comes with its own consequences. And our women deserve to know on the front end of their decision-making instead of on the back half.
All right.
Sorry, two.
I didn't want to put backs in. I couldn't find the earring back. So that's why this is happening this way. Okay. Does she have a point in any of this? Any solid, good points that this woman here is making that you heard? Okay.
No. I'm still stuck on the part where she brings up basically finding a educated black man, but putting an urgency on it. If you're focused on family and you're in college, which
how many college students
I'm not
that are focused on family,
unless they already had a family beforehand.
Like, what do you mean?
Like
started like they
already had the kids before going to college.
Single parent?
Yeah. Well, they don't have to be single parent, but
that's what I'm saying. How else do they have kids?
No, I'm saying it's just.
Sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
They already have, but you went straight to single parent. They could still have the other person there.
Oh, you mean the other?
I'm just saying, just they already have a family or starting a family.
Got you.
You made me lose track doing that. Anyway, it's just they're like not too many are going to be focused on a relationship like that, especially going to college. You go to college, it's like I'm either focused on education or I'm there to party. Relationship, like that may show up, but it's more like the reason they end is because I was just more like experimenting, or it's not really a big thing.
Yeah, I feel you. Like, for me, if we go back to just my case, and probably many other women, and this is, the reason why a lot of us just always are shooting for degrees. We're very ambitious. Like, we're driven, we're high achieving. And so my focus was on finishing my degree and landing my job, and then working in that job for X amount of years. And maybe I might find somebody, like maybe, And so that's why I said she has some of a point of the background of that. I think her solution is off, but I understand where she's coming from, because yes, if dating didn't, and I think we talked about this with the podcast that we were on, or we were featured on, if dating didn't work out, if you were with a guy, it didn't work out, my career was always my fallback. And we've seen it several times, and we've seen it on TikTok videos, we've seen it on other videos where women, we will get heartbroken, we get bored, we feel like we need to find more in our purpose. We will go ahead and sign up for a class, go get another degree, go higher degree, whatever it is, because we're trying to fill in time, right? That's just what we do. It's just but that doesn't mean that we should be doing it, right? In that. But for me, let me go back. For me, I wasn't focused on that. I was focused on my career. So yes, when you're focused solely on making it going, then you get to a point to where like, oh shoot, I'm 35. You know, I'm making up an age. For me, it was like I was 29. But it was like, oh my goodness, where did time go? I need a man. I need to get married. Fertility, all these things. I'm getting older. And so then it goes, wait a minute. And then you start to date. In all these years, you maybe what she's saying, you could have already probably found somebody, but yet you were so focused on your career. And then now, however, with her stance on trying to earn your MRS degree and then earn your bachelor's degree, I feel like there's more to life than trying to get your man. Like, I feel like telling college aged women that, you know what, you gotta lock down a brother right now because he gonna be gone when you get this type of brother ain't gonna be around, is a scare tactic.
No, the way she put it, it sounded like Channel 4 News, and it was nothing but murder, kill. And I was just like that, and that's probably what was throwing me off.
That's probably what it is. I think that, I mean, take that part out. Just go for the message.
So, I was just having this thought. So, say what she's saying is like a perfect world example of, say, you know, the woman is actually there for, you know, a relationship. Of course, you know, let's say her grades are great and everything, so she can focus on a relationship.
Yeah.
And I always think about this because I brought it up before another podcast. Is okay. So say you at a regular college, not a HBCU.
I gotta be a regular college
because
PWI.
Yeah, because it's there's not a lot of HBCUs.
There's a lot, but there's not a lot.
No, compared to regular college.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So you looking for an educated black man that's in college, and that's already slim.
Yeah.
And now you're trying to find one that's also aligned with your beliefs and what you want in life. And you talking about, oh, I want him to have, and a lot of women in college, they want a man with money. And if he's in college, he ain't gonna have that money unless he's one of them rich kids or something like that. If that's the case, he's probably not looking over at you. So it's already like slim, and she's like, oh, you need to be one of the 7 women going for that one man, trying to win him over while you get your BA and there. I'm like, it's too much energy.
HBCU, man, it's 14 to 1 man. So basically it's just, you got to up the ante.
But yet again,
is what she's saying. Is basically what she's saying.
You're still trying to find what you picture your husband is going to be and look like, and of course, there's going to be a lot of sexy men in there, and you probably looking at the fraternities and all of that stuff.
The sexy men.
Yeah, sexy men. I said it.
The way you said it.
I said it. Shirts off, oiled up.
Can I talk about? Can you come from the men's standpoint? As far as like a young man, would they want to, like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Should life be, my thing is life should be lived, you know, before you kind of, right after college, family, what? You know?
If that was say if it was different, if that was a man that was speaking, priorities and expectations would be way different. It wouldn't be about no scare tactic of, oh, your age is dwindling and nothing like that. It'll be more like maybe uplifting guy trying to tell you to focus on your education because I already know you focus on these girls. And that's the point she does have, is men don't have this issue because of, you know, X, Y, Z. They can go to wherever woman, you know, wherever they want.
It's up to the woman to find and lock them down, basically.
Which that part still is
it's
up in the air.
It's scary because to lock them down, y'all know what happens when women when couples get together in college. First of all, sexual activity, the higher chances of pregnancy happen. So now you're promoting this, right? And so now, more than likely, they're gonna play house, start, all these things.
What house?
In what house? But yeah, they have apartments and stuff. They're gonna start playing house, and then of course you know what happens when you start playing house. You start acting married, and then you don't have these healthy relationships that you're supposed to have. So now you're young, you're 22.
And your grades are failing.
You in a relationship expecting. But you said for her to lock down this educated man, and she's an educated woman, they pursuing degrees.
She's saying, don't be like me. But there's a lot of things added to that.
Yeah.
That's not just the relationship, it's about the attitude about things. Just because you got your education, your nose is probably up in the air.
Yeah.
So a lot of dudes that probably is there, you're probably not looking at them because either they look like Steve Urkel.
I'm done. I'm done. I saw a post about that too. I saw a post about that today about women not looking at the eligible men that they're looking for somebody else.
That's the whole thing where you got the 1% men and doing a bunch of the women is looking towards the upper part, and all the other men are just like left
and they
there.
Hear eligible,
and
they
it's
just
probably
are nerds.
There's probably a lot of them. They just because you don't deal with them, they're not dealing with you. So that's why you see 7 with 1.
Yeah.
Sorry, 7 women with 1 trying to get 1 man.
Exactly.
Because that's either the athlete or somebody like that where you ain't looking at the banking. Just saying.
So what I'm saying and what we're trying to say before we close on this one is it's not all about scare tactics. It's pushing the narrative that you don't have to go with what God's plan has for you. Just go outside of God's will for your life.
Oh, I thought you was telling us like what
no.
Script? Oh, you saying what she's saying?
Yeah, what she's saying.
Okay.
She's been I'm just saying, just go outside of God's will for your life and do it this way because of fear.
Yeah.
Because of fear. And that's not, what God didn't give us.
Not the fear of God.
But... No, give us not the spirit of fear. So.
That too.
There you go.
All right, to the next one. All right, no context. We're just gonna go straight to it.
Sure, go ahead.
All right.
Oh, I got to. Man sets the tone of a relationship. The woman creates the atmosphere of it. Love it. So if a man goes in and he sets a tone, I had to set a new tone in my house, which now the tone that I'm setting, Kim creates the atmosphere for. I get home, it's peace in there. It's welcoming in there. It's warm in there. Sometimes I go in there, good pot of beans cooking, and because the atmosphere is right. But it didn't, I at first was expecting her to set the atmosphere so it can change my tone. But I'm the man in this relationship. So the man has to go in, set a new tone in his house, and watch that woman create an atmosphere. She can't even help herself. She created to create an atmosphere for you. That's the way God wired her. And because your tone is off and your harshness is there and you don't quite understand who she is, the Bible says, husband, dwell with your wife according to knowledge. Learn who your wife is. Learn what make her tick. Learn who she is from the origin, the genesis of who she is. Down in her childhood, go back there. If she deals with anxiety, go find out who is dealing with anxiety in her family. Is it a hereditary thing? How many generations she been dealing with that thing? Because now when you understand, when you dwell with her according to understanding, then you can set the right tone, she'll create the right atmosphere, and your house will flow. But don't expect for her to change if you don't. No, it starts with you, brother. You got to set the right tone in there. You talking, man. Set the right tone. Watch how your house feels. You got to go in and do something different. Because she is a reflection of who you are. My grandfather would say, I can tell if your marriage is out of whack. You ask a man, he going to say, oh, yeah, we good, Pastor. We good. They do that right now, Rick. Man, how things going? Oh, we good. Men give highlights. We good, man. No, you got to go to that woman because a woman going to reflect you. You go to that woman, ask her, she going to start talking. Reverend, pray for him. Pray for him. He need prayer. Pray for us. She ain't giving off no secrets. The vault is still locked. Right. But she just letting you know that my code is getting timed out now. You know, you need to go in here and fix something because in a little bit, I'm going to open my vault. Have you ever...
All right, he started talking about breaker boxes anyway. So
yes. In there. No, that was really good what he said on there. My thing, not my thing, it's not anything to knock at what he's saying, was how can when you're thinking of a man, he's a man that's in desiring marriage, and he hears this, but he's in fear that he can create this tone that he's mentioning. What is something that you would give as a nugget for him? Because in my mind, I'll be like, okay, what's this tone? Like, will I have that? Is that an insecurity that one could have, that they can't do that?
Well, the way you put it is it did sound like masculine, where it's just like, oh, I'm the man, I gotta set the tone.
I'm the man.
Thing is setting a tone is not something you just make, it's learned. Like for me and you, before the kids, there wasn't really like, oh, I have to set a tone for the household and nothing like that. It was more like I was still learning on what the atmosphere that you had for our household in order to make that, so-called tone. And my version of setting a tone is more like, I'm not going to come in the house where I'm like angry all the time, or I'll start with the anger part. Like if I come in angry all the time, that's already going to mess up the atmosphere of the house. That's going to mess with you, which is going to mess with the atmosphere of the house. So if I come in angry all the time, guess what? You're either going to be defensive about it, or you trying to help, and I'm not, not helping you at all. So now it's like, okay, is it me? Especially if I'm not talking about what's going on, or if I am, there's some men who are just like, oh, okay, because I had a bad day, now you're about to have a bad day. Like that's setting the tone. But with me, my version of setting the tone was more like, okay, I'm not going to bring in outside stuff into our home unless it's one of those, like, when we do our check-ins and we talk about it. But I'm not going to bring that same emotions and everything like that into the house. Instead, it's kind of like a reset. Okay, I'm home now, and okay, what we need to do, this and that. Like, it depends on the day too. It's like, okay, I know it's one of the days where it needs to be, stuff need to get done. All right, I set the tone for that. Because if not, you guys set the tone and the atmosphere, and it's already okay. Now the atmosphere is messed up because you setting the tone for stuff. Because I'm it's like, now I'm trying to focus on what needs to be done here, and now the atmosphere ain't even there. The fact that you brought up the beans part, I'm like,
about beans.
I'm like, I get what you're saying. You got an aroma there, but that's not the atmosphere. The atmosphere, what I think of is like, you have control on the emotions of the house. Although, like I said, I can bring in a certain, like, okay, anger now is that, but you have the emotions of the house. So if you feel a certain way, everybody feels it. Where it's me, I have the control of the authority of things. And not in a bad way where I'm trying to tell her, not authoritarian, nothing like that. It's more like, all right,
the leadership.
Leadership, like, okay, hey, we come to each other, talk about it, discuss that kind of leadership, where, like, if the kids say something to her, she'd be like, all right, go to daddy, see what he says, because I might have something else in mind. Like, okay, no, we supposed to be having dinner here in 15 minutes. Y'all don't need to be having snacks. And she'd be like, you know what, that makes sense. Because she could have been easily, bad day at work or something like that, and easily be like, man, get out my face, here's a snack. Whereas, like, no, I gotta put my foot down. Like, no, we're gonna do dinner, this and that. That kind of, authority is more of that's like my tone now, especially with the family, the kids. I have to make sure I be in a way like a calm state, because I could be one of the fathers where it's just pure discipline. Now the tone's just like
in anger,
yeah,
and rage, or just always stern.
always stern. So now you're you ever look back and get, and some of y'all probably have them fathers where it's like your father was always strict. He never changed. That was the tone.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't talk to him because his tone was strict.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I think I like how you led into that, because one thing I like what you said is that your tone changed with the responsibilities that you're given. And I do think that we were able to understand our roles, not in gender roles, the same gender roles everybody be talking about, like our role when it comes to you having the authority or setting the tone, and me being the nurturer and filling out the temperature of the home and making sure that things are taken care of in the inner workings of the home, you know, kind of thing. Because you have a big job. Men have a big job. You have a big job, as in thinking everything broadly, of planting the vision, of seeing everything. Okay, what is everything going to look like? And we have the role as, okay, now that I see you told me, because God told you what everything's supposed to look like. Now we're in partnership, and I'm trying to figure out how to help you with the inner workings to make things flow. So it has its way. And I know he said the pot of beans, but in my mind, I'm thinking of the moments when you're outside and you're working hard and you're doing XYZ, whatever it is, to fix up the house, and I'm making the dinner or figuring out what was for dinner or figuring out, like, I think that's what he was trying to put into play. Like, I could automatically be like, well, he outside and I'm going to do my work. And then I don't know who's going to figure out dinner. I don't know. He better figure out dinner, because I'm tired of figuring out dinner. I'll figure out dinner all the time. You know, it could be like, okay, tone, set tone, me, temperature. Let's figure out how we can do this. So I think I like what you, no, I don't think I like. I love what you said about that, and that essence of how we can do that. And it's all behind the scene work. Like, it's all getting to know your person. It's getting to know who you are. And so one of the scriptures I want to bring up in this, and it fits, it's so fitting for this, and I'm gonna read it all. It is long. However, I think it needs to be read, because this is what it's all about. All right. So it's Ephesians 5. We always talk about the Ephesians 5, like, I'm looking for an Ephesians 5 man or whatever. And then this actually, it talks about man and woman and how we both should respond when we're married. You know, so it says in Ephesians 5:22, wives, submit to your husbands as to the Lord, for the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, his body, and is himself its savior. Now, as the church submits to Christ, also wives should submit in everything to their husbands. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her, that he might sanctify her, having cleansed her by washing of water with the word, so that he might present the church to himself in splendor, without spot or wrinkle or any such thing, that she might be holy, without blemish. In the same way, husbands should love their wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself, for no one ever hated his own flesh, but nourishes and cherishes it, just as Christ does the church, because we are members of his body. Therefore, as man shall leave his father and mother and hold fast to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. This mystery is profound, and I am saying that it refers to Christ and the church. However, let each one of you love his wife as himself, and let the wife see that she respects her husband. So in this case, when he's talking about this, it all goes in how we should see order, right? How we should see order. And when we're wondering about tone, and we're wondering about, well, I'm supposed to set the tone, women are supposed to be the lead, when we're talking about all this stuff about money and who's making more and all these things, all that stuff don't matter. It don't matter when it comes to what scripture says about how you're supposed to treat your wife and how you're supposed to treat your husband, right? And so if you follow that, then
you let God work that in your relationship, how it's supposed to be worked, then things will start working for your good in your relationship.
Nah, that was good. I enjoy that.
Okay.
Hit them with the Ephesians.
The Ephesians do it.
Mm-hmm.
Paul was saying some stuff.
Yeah.
And Paul was single.
All right.
Okay.
Paul was single. Paul was, yeah. All right, let's go for this other one. I had to turn the volume up for her.
Okay.
Ain't showed up yet.
I mean, she is low.
Oh, you didn't think I would come for you? Surely I would. When the husband ain't showed up yet, and we start to take, you know, the wife thing into our own hands, we try to come up with strategies, and we try to think through ways to get the man that we want. We start to do what the world is doing because it obviously is working for them. And so we start to say things like modesty don't work no more. That's patriarchy. That ain't Bible. And so let me show a little thigh. A little chest. Yeah. A little butt. We even start to consider the idea of being with men that don't even like your God. He might like gospel, you know. He listening to Jonathan McReynolds and Maverick City, Gyra, like. Do you understand how crazy that is? For you to be so unconvinced of God's goodness as it relates to his timing in your life, that you would be willing to submit yourself to somebody that serves the devil. That's crazy. That is... Because what's happening is that some of the strategies that we construct are a means of expediting the process of God's promise. We don't like endurance. We don't like waiting. We don't like, but what if God is doing something in you in the waiting? Surely he knows better than you, or do you think you know better than him? Is that what it is? Is that you somehow presume that you know what God, like you know better than the Lord of hosts? It can't be. That's what we believe. But maybe God has you waiting so you'll see that that's what's been in your heart this entire time. Sometimes God has to make you wait so you can see what's in here.
I love what Jackie Hill was explaining in this. It speaks volumes about why I do what I do and why I love coaching women, because it always comes back to this. Like, no matter where she is in her season, when I speak with her, it always comes back to the wait and what you can do during the wait, what you should be doing during the wait. And one of the things I realized is that we are so quick to rush the process without knowing that this is the time to steward your singleness. Like, learn how to just steward your singleness. Like, God will bless you because of how you steward your singleness. How you operate in your single season matters when you get married. Like, everything, it's an order to it. And I think we try to rush the order, and we want to go so quick to get married to anybody that we'll rather deal with the consequences that comes after marriage because we want that guy. Just imagine you want the temporary satisfaction of having somebody who does not, like she said, does not love your God, is probably not equally yoked to you, for the eternal ramifications that's going to happen to you because you chose. You chose wrong. Like, that boggles my mind. It doesn't really boggle my mind because the solution to it, but it just boggles my mind that it's chosen, you know?
So I have to go off my own experience because I don't know about y'all, but of course I didn't do no solo but or thought I didn't do none of that. But the thing is when you hit a certain point, you start thinking a certain way, like, you know what, it's trying to find the faithful, God-fearing man is difficult. Like, even within the church, I'm trying to find this person and they still out here doing whatever they doing, and it's not who I'm looking for. Let me go ahead and try to ease bring down my what's the word I'm looking for? My standards is what I'm looking for. It's like start bringing that down. I'll start actually going for somebody that's not. I mean, they go to church every now and then. Every Easter with their family and stuff. So they believe in God. They look warm. I ain't saying they are, but I ain't perfect either. So let me go ahead and lean towards that. Or well, they believe in a God.
That's good enough.
They're
spiritual.
They sound kind of like our God. Well, they're spiritual, or or you really fall off. It's like, well, they nice. They're a nice person.
The standards just be getting low.
But for me, I think what ended up happening was I realized I didn't fully commit to what God wanted when I first started. It was more like I said I believe in God and believe what He was doing, but I never really fully committed. And what I mean by that, like, I never been in that. Well, at that time, I never been in a position to where I was just like, you know what, God take the lead on all that, and I'll just ride with that.
Yeah.
And see the outcome of that. Because before it was just like, yeah, I believe in God, and then you start lowering your standards more and more because you're not finding God-fearing woman. But how would you know what God-fearing woman is if you never fully believe in God in the first place, or your faith wasn't there in the first place?
Ooh.
Like, your faith was, you say you had it, but you wasn't doing everything He wanted you to do. Hence why your standards are lower and lower. You're going for non-believers now.
Yeah.
Just because your loneliness is higher. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, you wouldn't be lonely if you was just doing what He wants you to do.
Yeah. That's good. No, I like how you were able to share your experience, because that's key. For me, and this is, I don't think I've ever said it like this, and I don't think this is just like transparency. I truly didn't have faith that God would actually be that good to me to send me what I desired. I didn't. I was like, I don't trust that you're going to do it, because I'm out here. and because I don't trust that God, that you can do this, I feel like I'm going to do it. I'd rather settle. Mm-hmm. I just rather settle. So whatever guy meets some mark, then I'll do it. And what I then had to realize is, if your faith, just purely what you mentioned, if your faith is already dwindling, then your faith in what you're asking for is not going to meet the standards of what God has for you. Like, it's just not going, He's not going to give you what it is, because first of all, you're not thinking, your thinking is limited. You're limiting what God can do. So God is allowing you to take what you're limited to.
It's actually worse than that.
Yeah.
You're not limiting God.
No, I'm just saying, like, you're not allowing yourself to open up to the possibility that God can do this.
You're limiting yourself.
Yeah.
For what God can have, because thing is, your standards, that's on you. God's got something that's above your standards.
Above your standards. And you're just like, God, I don't trust you.
That's why I want as a man. God's like, no, this is what you need as a man over here.
And imagine,
or a woman.
Yeah. And like, y'all, we don't realize how God is looking at us. Mm-hmm. Like, God is actually looking at you, looking and being like, oh, so you chose Him? Oh, okay.
And so you ain't ready.
You didn't believe me?
You ain't ready yet.
You ain't ready? Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Do that.
Mm-hmm.
Do that. Go ahead. You'll see. Do that. You come back to me, though, like you always do. You come back to me, though, but go ahead and do you, boo. That's what I feel like. And God is like, I have so much more for you. All I needed you to do was wait. All I needed you to do was steward your singleness. All I needed you to do was come to me, learn how to come to me. Yeah, I can go longer than this, but Jackie makes us go deep. Thank you, Jackie Hillberry. I appreciate you so much.
Why you sound like you said her whole government name with the way you said.
Well, I mean, that's
Jackie Hillberry.
Jackie Miranda Marie.
Miranda,
I don't even know.
Hillside Perry. What's happening?
Anyway, but yeah, no, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed us talking about this. If any of these that we spoke about resonated with you, go ahead and put something in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you disagree with us.
Mm-hmm.
We want to know. Let's talk about it. Maybe you do agree with us. Let's talk about it. So,
over here talking about the soft guy ears and dating and such.
What y'all
talking about?
But yeah, so like we said, thank y'all so much for tuning in to this episode. If you listen to this, please share with somebody else. Go ahead and pass along, let them know, show us some love. And again, the link in the description will have where you can vote for When Marriage and Purpose Collide for Best Podcast for the Kansas City People's Choice Awards.
What they say, the Kansas City metropolitan area.
I know, right?
Metropolitan.
Hey, what? First of all, I was saying KCPC, KCPD, KCPS. I was doing school districts and police departments trying to get this awards name out. So
KCA, Kansas City Awards.
Kansas City Award. I was doing the most. But anyway, thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode. We love y'all. Peace out.
Peace.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning into When Marriage and Purpose Collide, the podcast.
Click on the links in the description to learn a little more about us. Subscribe and send a review on your takeaways or any new insight you have gained in this episode. If you are a single Christian woman and you are seeking to date with intention and cultivate love in 2024, you'll also find resources and details on programs I have.
Amen. Resources coming soon.
See you back here for our next episode.